David, another weekend, another 3-0 defeat on the roads. Can you just give us your thoughts, please?
I think it was horrific. I think the first half was very similar to St Mirren, to be honest. The goals we give away are criminal. We can't give goals away like that at this level, but I think I owe the fans a huge apology, because I think the last two games as fans paid. I wish I had the money to give them their money back. I've not. Fans pay good money to travel to support us here, travel to St Mirren, support us here. And do you know what? I don't think any can question the application of the players. I don't think you could ever hand in heart question a Livingston player for no trying. But as a group, we're letting ourselves down, me included. I'm the leader of that group. I've got to take the vast majority of the responsibility, change the shape. St Mirren away, change the shape today. Thought it would make us a wee bit more defensively solid in terms of, I felt the two strikers at St Mirren and the two strikers today. I think Kevin Van Veen, for me, is outside the Old Firm, best striker in the league. So you're away from home. I wanted to be a wee bit more defensively solid in terms of the numbers I had behind the ball. But I don't think in either occasion, the both games, that defensive shape's really helped us, if I'm honest. By playing the back three, I think it's actually been detrimental to the lads on the part. So I need to take a lot of responsibility for that. The last two results, I think I've got to take them in the chin. It's my problem.
What do you think is the reason behind the going 3 goals down so quickly? After the first one, is it a case of heads going down, or?
I think there's a bit of that. I think it's touching it briefly. I think from match day 1 to match day 22, I felt we were very consistent in terms of we'd lost games of football, but we lost them in the right manner, or most of them. From the winter break coming back, match day 23, we've been really, really inconsistent. You've then got teams now picking up a bit of form. Motherwell probably went through what we're going through a wee bit earlier on in the season. They've turned a corner, they've got momentum, they've got confidence. St Mirren's been fairly stable most of the season, to be fair. Ourselves, we just seem to, when we give a goal, the heads go down, we lose a lot of confidence. But again, I'll go back to me, it's up to me to instill that confidence in this group. So, yeah, I think you lose games of football, you lose goals in the manner that we have been losing goals. The confidence is always going to be, but it's up to us as individuals to be mentally strong, so our mentality needs to get better. I think by focusing on yourself in the short term in terms of the mentality side of the game, it helps the group collectively. So we need to regroup. We'll speak about the game, and I keep saying this and I reiterate it, but it's how I coach, it's how I work on a weekly, daily basis. So we'll look at the game tomorrow, but again, I feel I owe the fans an apology, because collectively we've let them down. I've let the fans down the last 2 games.
It felt like, for kind of watching from the sidelines for large periods of that game, there was times when Livingston started to knock the ball around and kind of start to create attacks, but the main thing was, for watching from the sidelines, I felt there was a real lack of tempo there. I
don't think it's a lack of tempo. I think when we've had it ourselves, you go to St Johnstone 3-0 up, you go to Kilmarnock at home 3-0 up, and I think it's easy to set off the game. You lack a bit of intensity as a team that's leading by 3 goals. So I think by their game plan changes, they just set off the game and allow you to have the ball, and they're very, very difficult to break down at that point. So the goals we give away, we're absolutely shooting ourselves in the foot. You're never going to win games of football with losing the types of goals that we're losing. I don't think today, Kevin Van Veen's first is a good finish, but at hand and heart, I don't think the 3 goals we lost last week or the 3 goals we lost today are good goals. They're good goals from our point of view. The opposition might have a different mindset for that, but the goals, so by losing these goals, it changes the dynamics of the game. The game becomes easier. There's no pressure on us at that point. There's no pressure on the players. You're 3-0 down, so it's about no losing 4-0 or going to try to get the next goal, so it's less pressure on us. So I think the dynamics change. It's really, really difficult. I would rather focus on the 3 goals, to be honest, because that's the huge turning point in the game. The first goal as well, you lose such an early goal. It's very, very difficult. Just not matching my runners. But again, I changed the shape, so I'll take the responsibility for that.
And a big game next week against St Johnstone back at home. What's the kind of thought process going into that one? Obviously a massive game with 2 games to go before the split.
Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. The process of what we do, our everyday environment works. It's been proven to work. This is the most I think that's us. We can safely say we're probably going to be safe in the Premier League for a sixth season. Never been done before at Livingston. So as much as we're probably sitting here a wee bit perplexed and looking at the negatives of the last couple of performances, maybe even a wee bit further on than that, to be honest, but we're looking at the negativity. I think it's important that we look at the positivity also. We're going to remain in the Premier League for the sixth season, which never ever been done at Livingston Football Club. So what we do and where I'm going with that is that's where the success is built on. How we go about our business on a daily basis, that's not going to change.